One brisk evening in the heart of the city, Cedric Grayson sat at his mahogany desk reviewing legal documents for a high-stakes case. The phone rang, interrupting the rhythmic tapping of his pen against the polished surface. He sighed, glancing at the caller ID. Riley.
"What is it now, Riley?"
Cedric answered, his voice laced with irritation. "Cedric, it's your mother. She's asking for you," Riley replied, concern evident in her gentle tone.
"Tell her I'm busy. I have a crucial case to prepare for,"
Cedric snapped, dismissing the request without a second thought. "But Cedric, she's not doing well. She needs your support," Riley pleaded.
"I can't drop everything every time she feels unwell. I have responsibilities, Riley. You should understand that,"
Cedric retorted, his focus returning to the legal papers spread across his desk. Riley sighed on the other end of the line, frustration and worry mingling in her voice. "Cedric, your mother needs more than just occasional visits. She needs your love, your time."
"She has you, doesn't she? You take care of her, that's enough,"
Cedric replied dismissively. Riley hesitated, choosing her words carefully. "Cedric, she's your mother. She deserves your attention. She's lonely, and I can't fill the void of a son's presence." Cedric rolled his eyes, unmoved by Riley's plea.
"I've got a career to build, Riley. I can't afford to be distracted by the whims of my mother. She's been like this for years."
The conversation ended abruptly, leaving Riley disheartened and Cedric buried in his legal work. Little did he realize the toll his indifference took on Julie, his ailing mother. In the cozy apartment that echoed with the clattering city outside, Julie Grayson sat alone, staring out the window. The room was adorned with pictures from happier times, capturing moments when Cedric was a doting son and Riley was a radiant addition to their lives. Now the pictures seemed like faded memories of a distant past. Riley entered the room, her eyes reflecting both concern and frustration. "He won't come, Julie. I don't know how to make him understand." Julie managed a weak smile, patting Riley's hand. "Oh, don't blame him, dear. He's always been like this. Work comes first, everything else second. But it's breaking my heart to see you suffer like this," Riley confessed. A tear glistened in Julie's eyes as she whispered, "I'm used to it, Riley. Just promise me you'll take care of him when I'm gone." The days turned into weeks and Julie's health continued to decline. Riley juggled her responsibilities at school with the increasingly demanding role of a caregiver. She found solace in late-night conversations with Julie, who shared stories of a young Cedric full of promise and affection. Cedric Grayson was a man driven by ambition. His life was defined by the relentless pursuit of success in the legal world. Tall and sharply dressed, he carried an air of authority and confidence that mirrored his accomplishments. His office, adorned with accolades and framed legal victories, reflected a man who had triumphed in the courtroom. In his mid-40s, Cedric possessed a commanding presence that extended beyond the courtroom. His sharp mind and quick thinking had propelled him to the upper echelons of the legal profession, yet for all his professional success, his personal life told a different story. Cedric's dedication to his work often bordered on obsession. Long hours at the office, late-night meetings, and an exhaustive social calendar were the norm. He thrived on the adrenaline of high-profile cases, constantly chasing the next big win. This dedication, however, came at a cost. His relationship with his mother, Julie Grayson, had long been strained. While he once displayed warmth and affection, the demands of his career gradually distanced him from his family. The weight of responsibility for his ailing mother seemed like an unwelcome burden, something that interrupted the seamless trajectory of his professional climb. Cedric's interactions with Riley, his compassionate wife, revealed a man caught between the conflicting demands of career and family. Despite Riley's earnest attempts to bridge the gap, he remained emotionally distant. His responses were often laced with impatience, dismissing her concerns about his mother's deteriorating health as inconvenient distractions. The transformation in Cedric's character began when Riley confronted him about his neglect of Julie. The veneer of stoicism cracked, revealing a man torn between the expectations of success and the responsibilities of family. Under the layers of professional competence, a son was yearning for reconnection with the woman who had once been the centre of his world. The days following Cedric's initial visit to his mother's room were a tumultuous mix of legal battles and mounting pressures at the office. The high-profile case he was preparing for had taken unexpected turns, demanding more of his time and attention than ever before. One evening, as the city lights twinkled outside the towering office windows, Cedric found himself immersed in a sea of legal documents. His phone buzzed persistently, signalling a missed call from Riley. Sighing, he dismissed it, convinced that he couldn't afford any distractions. Meanwhile, at home, Riley sat alone at the dinner table, a sense of loneliness creeping in. The apartment, once filled with laughter and warmth, now echoed with the haunting silence of an empty home. She decided to call Cedric, hoping to hear his voice and share the weight on her shoulders. "Cedric, where are you? It's been days." Riley's voice trembled with a mix of frustration and concern.
"I'm busy, Riley. You know how crucial this case is. I can't afford any slip-ups,"
Cedric replied, his tone clipped and preoccupied. "But Cedric, your mother is deteriorating. She's asking for you," Riley pleaded.
"I can't leave now. I'll visit her when things settle down at the office."
Cedric dismissed the concern, oblivious to the toll his absence was taking on his wife and, more importantly, his ailing mother. Days turned into nights, and Cedric's presence at home became increasingly scarce. Riley, left to manage both the household and the emotional weight of Julie's declining health, she struggled to hold everything together. One evening, Riley confronted Cedric as he rushed out the door, briefcase in hand. "Cedric, you can't keep doing this. Your mother needs you. I need you."
"I have to win this case, Riley. It's the most important one of my career. Can't you understand that?"
Cedric's frustration seeped into his words. Riley fought back tears, her voice cracking with emotion. "Your career shouldn't come at the cost of your family. Julie is fading away, and you're not even here to see it." Cedric, torn between duty and the growing sense of guilt, paused for a moment.
"I'll make it up to her. And to you, once this is over. I promise."
But promises were becoming hollow, and the apartment felt emptier with each passing day. Julie, confined to her room, heard snippets of these conversations, her heart heavy with the burden of being a mere spectator to her family's unravelling. Days passed, and the Grayson apartment remained draped in an uncomfortable silence. Cedric, basking in the glory of his legal victory, carried on with his life as if the tumultuous events of the past few weeks were a mere blur. Riley, on the other hand, found herself grappling with a mix of frustration, hurt, and a growing sense of abandonment. One evening, as the sun dipped below the city skyline, casting long shadows across the room, Cedric walked through the door, a triumphant smile etched on his face.
"I did it, Riley! We won the case!"
he exclaimed, his voice filled with exhilaration. Riley, who had been standing by the window, turned to face him, her expression a mixture of relief and irritation. "Cedric, where have you been? Your mother has been asking for you."
I've been busy, Riley. This case was make or break for my career and I couldn't afford any distractions, Cedric replied, dismissing her concerns.
Cedric, it's not just about being physically present, it's the emotional support that's lacking, Riley asserted, frustration evident in her voice. Cedric's smile faded, replaced by a defensive glare.
I can't be everywhere at once. Riley, I have responsibilities.
Riley took a deep breath, choosing her words carefully. Responsibilities at home matter too. Your mother needs you, and so do I. Cedric rolled his eyes, brushing off the conversation.
There's something important I need to discuss. I've been assigned to a conference in Hawaii. It's an extended business trip, a chance to network and de-stress after this case, Cedric revealed, trying to justify his prolonged absence.
Riley's frustration deepened. An extended business trip. You've been gone for weeks already. What about your mother? What about us?
I've considered that, Riley, but the firm is counting on me to represent them. It's a significant opportunity and I've been here for over 2 weeks now.
Cedric explained, his decision seemingly final. Riley's eyes widened in disbelief. You've been there for weeks? Without a proper discussion with me? Without considering your mother's condition?
Riley, I need you to understand. This opportunity could change our lives. I need this, not just for myself, but for us,
Cedric implored, seeking her support. What about what we've been through? What about the struggles we've faced as a family? Riley's frustration reached its peak. Cedric's dismissive attitude remained unchanged.
I don't need your approval, Riley. This is a professional obligation and I'm staying. End of discussion.
Riley, feeling a mix of hurt and anger, tried to reason with him. Cedric, can't you at least come home for a few days or maybe consider a virtual check-in? We need time together as a family. Cedric scoffed.
This is a pivotal moment for my career, Riley. I don't have time for your drama. Be supportive.
Riley felt a sinking sensation, realizing that Cedric had made up his mind. Cedric, you're being selfish. You're prioritizing work over your responsibilities, and it's not fair to your mother or me. Cedric, unfazed, walked away, leaving Riley standing alone in the room.
I'll call you once things settle down here. Try to understand, Riley. You're being unreasonable.
As the door closed behind him, Riley felt a wave of helplessness wash over her. She sank into a chair, grappling with the reality that Cedric had chosen his career over the challenges at home. The apartment had been quieter than usual for weeks, with Cedric's prolonged absence for the business trip. Now, as he prepared to extend his stay, the silence felt more profound. Cedric, dressed not in leisure wear but in his business attire, emerged from his room with a suitcase in hand. Riley, standing in the kitchen, watched him with a complex mix of emotions. Sorrow, frustration, and a fading glimmer of hope. Cedric approached her, his smile strained.
I'm off to the conference again. Take care, Riley. I'll be in touch, he said, his voice devoid of its usual warmth.
Riley, her eyes brimming with tears she fought to hold back, gave a silent nod. The weight of his continued absence was palpable. Cedric leaned in to kiss her on the cheek, a gesture that now felt more like a formality than an expression of affection. As he stepped back, Riley found her voice. What about your mother, Cedric? Won't you say goodbye to her? Cedric avoided her gaze, looking at the ground.
She's resting. I don't want to cause any stress, he muttered.
Riley's frustration boiled over. Stress! Cedric, she's your mother. She deserves to know you're leaving again. Cedric's indifference was palpable.
I'll call her from the conference. It's better this way. Riley's anger surged, her voice shaking. She's felt your absence for weeks, Cedric. How can you leave her again without a word?
Cedric, defensive, retorted.
This is important for us, Riley. Can't you see that? I'll be back once it's done.
With those final words, he departed, leaving Riley alone in the now too quiet kitchen, the emptiness echoing his absence. Alone with her thoughts, Riley couldn't escape the feeling of abandonment. She entered Julie's room, finding her mother lying peacefully, blissfully unaware of Cedric's departure. Riley couldn't bear to break the peace with the news of Cedric's extended absence. The day dragged on, each hour marked by Cedric's absence. Riley wrestled with a tumult of emotions, pondering the toll his absence was taking on their already fragile family dynamic. The tears she had held at bay now flowed freely as she confronted the stark reality of being left behind once more. Throughout the day, Riley's emotions oscillated between sadness and anger, replaying Cedric's departure, questioning if it signalled deeper issues in their relationship. A faint hope that he might miss them warred with the fear that he had already detached himself from their shared struggles. As the evening sun cast long shadows across the apartment, Riley's phone rang with a number she didn't recognise. She paused, anticipating Cedric's voice.
Riley, it's Cedric. I've reached the conference venue in Hawaii. It's all business here,
he reported, his tone professional. Riley, her voice tight, managed to ask, "How's the conference going?" Cedric delved into details about the seminars, the networking opportunities, and the hectic schedule. Riley, despite the pain in her heart, maintained composure, responding with measured interest. She wondered if he detected the tension in her voice, if he understood the chaos his absence had caused. The call ended with Cedric's assurance to update her soon. Left alone in the dim living room, Riley was engulfed by a whirlwind of emotions. She pondered whether Cedric grasped the full extent of his absence and if he would ever acknowledge what he had left behind. Cedric's trip to Hawaii, framed as a business conference, was a necessary departure from the responsibilities that awaited him at home. His decision to attend this event without fully discussing it with Riley or addressing his mother's needs highlighted a conflict between personal ambition and familial duty. As Cedric arrived in Hawaii, the weight of his professional obligations didn't dissipate. Instead, they loomed in the background. The warm breeze and ocean scent were not just comforts, but reminders of the discussions and decisions that awaited him. From his hotel, which catered more to business travellers than vacationers, Cedric prepared for the conference. He spent his days not lounging, but networking, engaging with colleagues over coffee rather than cocktails. The sunset over the Pacific Ocean was often missed, replaced by presentations and seminars. Cedric sampled the local cuisine in brief moments, the flavours of fresh seafood and tropical fruits serving as a quick respite from his busy schedule, a stark contrast to the leisurely indulgence he might have imagined. In the structured environment of the conference, Cedric found himself immersed in a world of professional development, his schedule dictated by sessions and networking events. The island's allure was present, but only as a backdrop to the work at hand. Each day was a step in his career journey, not an escape, but a strategic move within the urban complexities he knew all too well. Cedric's updates to the outside world were measured, showcasing the insights and progress of his professional endeavours rather than personal leisure. His social media feed became a testament to his dedication, with posts of keynote speeches and panel discussions instead of tropical escapades. In the days that followed Cedric's trip, Riley found herself immersed in the newfound routine of caring for Julie. The apartment, once tinged with the cold echoes of neglect, now vibrated with warmth and laughter. Each day brought a fresh opportunity for Riley to bridge the emotional chasm that had developed between mother and son. One morning, after wiping away her tears and taking a deep breath, Riley made her way to Julie's room. She greeted her with a gentle smile. "Good morning, Julie. How are you feeling today?" Julie, initially surprised by the warmth in Riley's voice, mustered a weak smile.
"I'm okay, dear. Just another day."
Undeterred, Riley proceeded to check Julie's blood sugar, blood pressure, and medication. She arranged a tray of food, poured a glass of water, and settled in for some company. The air in the room shifted, filled with a sense of genuine care that had long been absent. As Riley attended to Julie's physical needs, she also tended to her emotional well-being. She engaged Julie in conversation, listening to her thoughts, fears, and dreams. Riley became a constant presence, a source of comfort and companionship that Julie had missed for far too long. Riley, determined to bring joy back into Julie's life, started telling stories, cracking jokes, and sharing the latest news. She sang gentle tunes, read aloud from books, and offered words of solace through prayers. The once quiet room echoed with laughter and shared moments, a stark contrast to the lonely silence that had enveloped it before. In the evenings, after the routine of care had concluded, Riley took a moment to simply be with Julie. She hugged her tightly, kissed her forehead, and expressed gratitude for the connection they were building. The shift in dynamics between Riley and Julie became more apparent with each passing day. One evening, as they sat together, Riley shared her feelings with Julie. "I want you to know, Julie, that I care about you as if you were my mother. I want to be here for you, to provide the love and care you deserve." Julie, touched by Riley's sincerity, felt a warmth in her heart that had been absent for too long. She realized the depth of Riley's commitment, a commitment that went beyond mere duty. In that moment, Riley became more than a daughter-in-law. She became a friend, a confidant, and a lifeline. As their bond deepened, Julie found herself reflecting on the past, acknowledging the mistakes she had made in her judgments. She realized that her initial impressions of Riley had been clouded by misunderstandings and preconceived notions. Julie felt a surge of guilt for having been unfair to a woman who had proven to be a pillar of strength in their time of need. One afternoon, Julie, unable to contain her feelings any longer, approached Riley with a sense of humility.
"Riley, I owe you an apology. I misjudged you. I want you to know how grateful I am for all you've done for me."
Riley, surprised by Julie's confession, responded with warmth. "You don't need to apologize, Julie. I understand. Let's focus on the present and the positive changes we can make together." Julie, feeling a weight lifted off her shoulders, continued,
"You've shown me kindness and care. Things I haven't experienced in a long time. I'm thankful for you, Riley."
As the days turned into weeks, Riley and Julie's relationship continued to blossom. They spoke openly about their lives, dreams, and fears. They shared the secrets of their past, their regrets, and their hopes for the future. Laughter echoed through the apartment, tears were shed, and wounds began to heal. In their newfound closeness, Riley and Julie discovered the strength that lies in vulnerability. They cried together over shared sorrows, laughed together over shared joys, and gradually mended the fractures that had marred their relationship. The return from Cedric's Hawaiian vacation was nothing like he had envisioned. As he entered his home, tanned and smiling, he expected to find the familiar comforts awaiting him. However, reality struck with a force that left him reeling. The apartment was in disarray. Chaos was replacing the semblance of order he had left behind. Cedric's eyes widened as he took in the scene, a sinking feeling settling in the pit of his stomach.
"Riley?"
he called out, his voice tinged with confusion and worry. From the back of the apartment, Riley appeared, her eyes blazing with a fury that Cedric had never witnessed. "Where have you been, Cedric?" she demanded, her voice sharp and cutting. Cedric, stunned by her intensity, stammered,
I just got back. What happened?"
Riley's eyes pierced him, conveying the turmoil that had erupted in his absence. "Your mother is in the hospital, Cedric. She had a stroke." The words lingered in the air like a heavy mist, engulfing Cedric in a cloud of shock and disbelief. He felt a surge of panic, his heart pounding as he tried to grasp the severity of the situation.
"What? How? When?"
Cedric's question spilled out, the burden of guilt on his shoulders. "She had a stroke 3 days back. I tried to reach you. I called you. I messaged you and I emailed you, but you never replied. You ignored me." Riley's voice trembled with a mix of anger and pain. Cedric's face drained of colour as he realised the extent of his negligence. His mind raced, struggling with the enormity of the outcomes of his actions.
"I didn't know. I didn't get your messages. I didn't."
Cedric started, but Riley interrupted him with a cold glare. "No, Cedric. You didn't bother to check. You were too busy with your conference while your mother fought for her life, and I was here holding everything together, trying to fill the gap of your absence." The impact of Riley's words hung in the air, accentuating the silence that followed. Cedric, faced with the harsh truth, felt a cold sweat on his forehead.
"I need to see her. I need to be there,"
Cedric begged, his voice filled with desperation. Riley's anger softened into a look of disappointment. "You should have thought about that before, but whatever. Come with me. Maybe you'll understand what your neglect has cost us." They hurried to the hospital, the journey marked by a tense silence. As they entered Julie's room, Cedric felt a wave of emotions crash over him. His mother lay motionless, connected to machines that monitored her fragile state. Riley, despite her anger, sat by Julie's side, holding her hand. Cedric, overwhelmed by a sense of guilt, dropped to his knees beside the bed.
"Oh, Mum, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please wake up. Please don't leave me. Please don't die. I love you so much,"
Cedric pleaded, his words pouring out in a torrent of desperation. Riley, her tears falling freely, continued to comfort Julie. "I did everything I could, Cedric. I tried to fill the void you left. I'm sorry for not being enough." Cedric's pleas echoed in the sterile hospital room. He turned to Riley, his eyes pleading for forgiveness.
"Riley, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Please don't hate me. Please don't leave me. Oh, please don't go. I love you. I love you so much."
The room was enveloped in a heavy silence, the weight of the words hanging in the air. Cedric, his heart heavy with remorse, continued to express his regret and love. As the trio, Cedric, Riley, and Julie, confronted the harsh reality in the hospital room, the beeping of machines and the sterile atmosphere intensified the gravity of the situation. Cedric, overwhelmed with guilt, pleaded with his motionless mother.
"Mother, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please wake up. Please don't leave me. I love you. I love you so much."
Cedric's words echoed through the room, desperation lacing each syllable. Riley, despite her anger and hurt, continued to provide comfort to the frail figure lying in the hospital bed. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered words of encouragement to Julie. "Hang in there, Julie. We're with you. You're not alone." The room remained enveloped in a heavy silence, broken only by the rhythmic sounds of life-sustaining machines. Cedric, his desperation turning into a quiet sob, looked at Riley, his eyes pleading for understanding. Riley, maintaining her composure for Julie's sake, responded with a mixture of sternness and concern. "Cedric, your mother needs you now. She needs your support. It's time to show her that you care." As the minutes stretched into an agonizing eternity, the room seemed to hold its breath. Then, in a moment that felt like a miracle, Julie's eyes fluttered open. Cedric, Riley and Julie found themselves connected by a gaze that conveyed relief, gratitude and a glimmer of hope. Cedric, overcome with relief and gratitude, held his mother close, feeling her warmth and pulse. He sobbed into her shoulder, letting out the pent-up emotions that had tormented him.
Mother, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for leaving you. I'm so sorry for being selfish. I'm so sorry for hurting you and Riley. Please forgive me. Please don't hate me. Please give me another chance. I love you. I love you more than anything.
Cedric's words poured out, his voice cracking with remorse. Julie, feeling a surge of compassion, stroked his hair, soothing him. It's okay, Cedric. It's okay. I forgive you. I don't hate you. I love you. You're my son. You're my precious son. Nothing can change it. We'll get through this together. We'll make things right. Julie's words filled the room with a gentle warmth, a contrast to the coldness that had prevailed before. Cedric, his emotions overwhelming him, leaned in to hug his mother gently.
I love you too, Mother. I'm so sorry. I'll make things right.
Riley, her eyes glistening with tears, witnessed the fragile yet powerful moment of a family on the brink of healing. The tension in the room began to dissipate as Julie's survival became a symbol of resilience, forgiveness, and the enduring strength of familial bonds. In the subsequent days, as Julie continued her recovery, dialogues between mother and son took on a deeper significance. Julie, lying in her hospital bed, expressed her thoughts to Cedric, her voice filled with a mix of wisdom and maternal love. Cedric, life is fleeting. We never know when we'll be given a second chance. Use this opportunity to cherish the ones you love, Julie advised, her eyes reflecting a lifetime of experiences. Cedric, genuinely remorseful, nodded in agreement.
You're right, Mum. I've been blind to what truly matters. I want to make amends and be there for you and Riley.
Julie, extending forgiveness, responded with a gentle smile. We all make mistakes, Cedric. What matters is how we learn from them. Now, focus on rebuilding the connections that matter most. As Julie's health gradually improved, the hospital room became a space for the Grayson family to reconcile and reshape their relationships. Cedric, fueled by a newfound understanding, became an active participant in his mother's recovery. The family dynamics began to shift from a battleground of neglect to a sanctuary of healing and understanding. In the process, Cedric and Riley engaged in open conversations about the past, present, and future. Riley, still guarded, appreciated Cedric's sincerity and efforts to change. Their dialogues became a bridge, spanning the emotional gaps that had separated them. Cedric, I need you to understand the pain your neglect caused. It's not just about being apologetic, it's about showing that you've truly changed, Riley asserted during one of their heartfelt conversations. Cedric, determined to prove himself, responded earnestly.
Riley, I'm committed to making amends. I want to be the husband you deserve and the son my mother needs. Please give me a chance to rebuild your trust.
The therapy sessions, woven with dialogues that delved into their emotions and fears, became instrumental in the family's healing process. As the Grayson apartment transformed from a fractured space into a haven of unity, they navigated the challenges of rebuilding their family with resilience and love. After Julie was discharged from the hospital, she returned home with Cedric and Riley. They welcomed her with open arms, eager to continue their journey of healing and reconciliation. Julie's health was still fragile, and she required constant care and monitoring. Cedric and Riley took turns to assist her with her daily activities, such as bathing, dressing, eating, and taking her medications. They also helped her with her physical and cognitive exercises, following the instruction of her therapists. Julie was grateful for their support and encouragement, feeling their genuine love and concern. Julie's recovery was slow, but steady, and she gradually regained some of her lost abilities. She was able to speak more clearly, move more easily, remember more details. She also became more cheerful and optimistic, enjoying the simple pleasures of life. She cherished the time she spent with Cedric and Riley, listening to their stories, sharing her wisdom, and laughing at their jokes. She also reconnected with her old friends who visited her regularly and brought her gifts and cards. Julie felt a renewed sense of belonging and purpose, realizing that she still had a lot to offer to the world. Julie's health improved to the point where she was able to resume some of her hobbies and interests. She started reading books again, joining a book club that met online. She also resumed her knitting, making sweaters and scarves for her loved ones. She even joined a stroke support group where she met other survivors and shared her experiences and insights. Julie found these activities fulfilling and rewarding, boosting her self-esteem and confidence. Julie's progress was a source of joy and pride for Cedric and Riley, who witnessed her transformation firsthand. They celebrated her achievements, big and small, and encouraged her to pursue her goals and dreams. They also learned from her resilience and wisdom, gaining a new perspective on life and its challenges. They realized that they had grown as individuals and as a couple, thanks to Julie's influence and example. They became more compassionate, understanding and forgiving, both to themselves and to each other. They also became more appreciative, grateful and loving, cherishing every moment they had together. As the days unfolded in the Grayson apartment, Cedric's journey of self-discovery took an unexpected turn. Amidst the efforts to mend his relationship with his mother, Julie, he stumbled upon a revelation that added another layer to his quest for redemption. He was adopted. The truth once unveiled hung in the air, shifting the dynamics within the family once again. Cedric grappled with this newfound knowledge, his emotions swirling in a tempest of surprise, realization and reflection.
"You adopted me?"
Cedric questioned, his voice carrying a mix of disbelief and curiosity. Julie, sitting in her favourite armchair, met his gaze with a steady nod. "Yes, Cedric. I adopted you when you were just a baby. I loved you like my son from the moment I held you in my arms." The weight of this revelation settled on Cedric's shoulders, prompting a flood of emotions.
"Why didn't you tell me before?"
Julie sighed. I wanted to, Cedric, but as you grew older, I worried it might change how you saw yourself and your place in this family. I wanted you to feel loved and accepted, not defined by your past." Cedric, though processing this revelation, couldn't shake the guilt that consumed him.
"I've been so blind, Mum. I neglected you and I didn't even know the sacrifices you made for me."
Julie reached out, her hand gently resting on Cedric's. "We all make mistakes, Cedric. The important thing is what we do moving forward. We have a chance to make things right, to cherish the time we have together." Inspired by this newfound clarity about his roots, Cedric made a silent vow to be the son that Julie had always wanted. The realization propelled him into action, fueled by a determination to rectify his past mistakes. Over the following weeks, a transformation unfolded within the Grayson family. Cedric became a pillar of support for both Julie and Riley. He took on the responsibilities of caregiving, ensuring Julie's needs were met with unwavering devotion. The once neglected corners of the apartment echoed with the sounds of laughter, shared stories, and the clinking of utensils during family meals. One evening, as they gathered around the dinner table, Cedric looked at Riley with sincerity in his eyes.
"Riley, I can't change the past, but I can certainly shape our future. I want to be the husband you deserve, the partner you can rely on."
Riley, her heart touched by Cedric's transformation, smiled. Actions speak louder than words, Cedric. Show me through your deeds, and we can build a future together. Their shared journey of healing became a collaborative effort. Cedric, Riley, and Julie attended therapy sessions together, delving into the intricacies of their relationship, understanding each other's needs and working towards a shared vision of a harmonious family. In one session, Dr. Reynolds, their therapist, introduced a communication exercise where each family member took turns expressing their feelings through I statements. This allowed them to share their perspectives without blame, fostering a deeper understanding of each other's experiences. Cedric, let's start with you. Using I statements, share your feelings about the recent changes, Dr. Reynolds suggested. Cedric, focusing on the exercise, began to express himself.
I feel a mix of guilt and regret for not realizing the impact of my actions sooner. I want to make amends and create a better environment for all of us.
The exercise continued with Riley and Julie, each articulating their emotions and needs. Dr. Reynolds guided them through active listening techniques, encouraging validation and empathy. As therapy progressed, the family delved into deeper discussions about the complexities of adoption, the impact of Cedric's neglect, and the shared responsibility of rebuilding their relationships. The therapist helped them develop coping strategies, set realistic expectations, and establish open lines of communication. In a particularly poignant session, Dr. Reynolds facilitated a family activity where each member wrote a letter to express their feelings and hopes for the future. The exchange of the letters became a pivotal moment, fostering a sense of vulnerability and understanding among the Grayson family. Through the therapeutic process, the family began to witness tangible changes. Cedric's commitment translated into consistent actions, attending therapy, actively participating in caregiving, and being present for both Riley and Julie. The apartment, once marred by neglect, now resonated with the harmonious echoes of a family actively working towards healing.
Progress is evident, but remember, change is a journey, not a destination. Continue to communicate openly, support one another, and celebrate small victories along the way, Dr. Reynolds advised. As therapy sessions continued, the Grayson family navigated the ebbs and flows of their collective journey, learning to cherish the newfound bonds that emerged from the crucible of healing. Dr. Reynolds, a guiding presence throughout, observed the family's transformations with quiet satisfaction, knowing that their story was a testament to the power of resilience, love, and the human capacity for change. In the days following Cedric's revelation about his adoption, the Grayson apartment became a cocoon of shared emotions and newfound openness. The atmosphere was charged with the anticipation of self-discovery as Cedric embarked on a quest to unravel the mysteries of his biological roots. One evening, as they all gathered in the living room, Cedric's curiosity couldn't be contained any longer. The air hummed with a blend of vulnerability and excitement as he turned to Julie, his adoptive mother, with a burning question in his eyes.
"Cedric, is everything all right?"
Riley inquired, sensing the weight of unspoken words in the room.
Cedric took a deep breath, his eyes fixed on Julie.
"Mum, there's something I need to talk to you about. I want to know more about where I come from, about my biological parents. Can we talk about it?"
Julie, perceptive to the undercurrents of Cedric's emotions, offered a reassuring nod. "Of course, Cedric. Whatever you need, I'm here for you." The living room, once a witness to tension and strife, now bore witness to a crucial conversation that would shape Cedric's understanding of his identity. As they settled into a contemplative silence, Julie began to share the story she had kept hidden for so long. "Cedric, I adopted you when you were just a baby. Your biological parents, wonderful people. faced circumstances that led them to make a difficult decision. I wanted to protect you from any stigma or judgment that might come with that knowledge. I wanted you to grow up feeling loved and accepted." Cedric absorbed the revelation, his mind navigating the complexities of identity and belonging.
"Why didn't you tell me sooner, Mum?"
Julie sighed, her gaze filled with a mix of love and regret. "I thought it was best to let you forge your path without the burden of your past, but I understand that you need to know now, and I'm here to support you in whatever way you need." The admission opened a floodgate of emotions within Cedric.
"I appreciate your love and protection, Mum. I just want to understand more about myself and who I am. Can you help me with that?"
Julie nodded, her heart swelling with a mother's understanding. "Of course, Cedric. We can explore this journey together. You're not alone." In the days that followed, Julie became Cedric's guide on a journey of self-discovery. They sifted through old records, letters and photos, piecing together the puzzle of Cedric's origins. Their process was not without its challenges, but the bond between mother and son grew stronger with each revelation. One evening, as they sat surrounded by faded photographs and handwritten letters, Cedric couldn't help but feel a deep gratitude towards Julie.
"Mum, I never realised how much you've done for me. I always considered you my mother, no matter the biology. You've given me a family and a love that I took for granted."
Julie smiled, her eyes reflecting a mother's pride. "Cedric, you're my son. Whether by blood or by choice, I'm proud of the man you're becoming. Your curiosity and willingness to explore your roots speak volumes about your character." Emboldened by his newfound understanding of his identity, Cedric turned to Riley.
"And you, Riley, you've been by my side through all of this. I want you to know how much you mean to me. You're not just my wife. You're my partner in this journey of healing."
Riley, touched by Cedric's vulnerability, met his gaze with warmth. "I see the effort, Cedric. Let's continue to work towards a future filled with love, understanding, and growth." The living room, once a battleground of misunderstandings, echoed with the resonance of shared dreams and mutual support. As the Grayson family embraced this collective journey of healing, they found solace in the shared laughter, the lifting of shared burdens, and the weaving of shared dreams. Cedric's exploration of his biological roots catalyzed profound introspection. He realized that family extended beyond bloodlines, encompassing the love and connection they chose to nurture. The apartments, once tainted by neglect, now stood as a testament to the transformative power of love, self-discovery, and the pursuit of redemption. As they continued to navigate the complexities of their shared journey, the Grayson family discovered that healing wasn't just about correcting past mistakes, it was about embracing imperfections, fostering growth, and forging bonds that could withstand the tests of time. The living room, once a witness to discord, now bore witness to a family in the process of becoming whole. A family bound not only by a shared history, but by the promise of a future filled with love and understanding. As weeks turned into months in the Grayson apartment, the family continued their healing journey, cherishing the newfound understanding and bonds they had forged. Cedric's commitment to change and redemption had transformed the once turbulent atmosphere in one of shared laughter, support, and love. However, life is unpredictable, and the Grayson family is about to face another challenge. One evening, as they sat together in the living room, the weight of Cedric's responsibility seemed to cast a shadow over the warmth they had cultivated. Riley observed Cedric's furrowed brow, a telltale sign of the storm brewing within him. "Cedric, what's on your mind?" Riley inquired, concern etched across her face. Cedric sighed, his gaze fixed on the papers scattered before him.
"The trials in the company, Riley. It's getting overwhelming. I'm facing unforeseen challenges and I'm unsure how to navigate it all.
Julie, sensing her son's distress, reached out to pat his hand gently. "Remember, you don't have to face everything alone. We're here for you, just like you've been there for us." Cedric looked up, gratitude evident in his eyes.
"I know, Mum. It's just... the pressure is mounting. I can't afford to lose these cases. The company is going through a rough patch and I feel responsible for everyone's livelihoods."
Riley placed her comforting hand on Cedric's shoulder. "You've come a long way, Cedric. Don't forget the progress you've made. You're not the man you used to be. We're here to support you through thick and thin." Despite their reassurances, Cedric found himself grappling with the weight of his professional responsibilities. The trials, once a battleground where he fought for justice, now felt like a labyrinth of challenges, each more daunting than the last. Days turned into nights as Cedric immersed himself into the complexities of his work. His exhaustion became palpable, his focus waned, and the lines on his face deepened with each passing day. Riley and Julie watched with shared concern, fearing that the Cedric of old might resurface under the strain. As Cedric delved deeper into his professional responsibilities, the demands of his legal career became increasingly intricate, leading to trials that tested not only his legal acumen but also his resilience and dedication to change. In the heart of the bustling city, Cedric found himself immersed in a high-stakes case that captured the attention of both legal enthusiasts and the public. The trial involved a complex corporate dispute, pitting Cedric's firm against a formidable adversary. The stakes were high, not only for Cedric's career but also for the future of the company he represented. One day, as he pored over legal documents and prepared for the upcoming trial, Riley entered his home office, concern etched across her face. "Cedric, you've been working non-stop. You need to take a break and clear your mind." Cedric looked up. Exhaustion was evident in his eyes.
"Riley, this case is crucial. If we win, it could mean stability for the company and the livelihoods of everyone involved. I can't afford to let them down."
Riley, though understanding the importance of the case, placed a comforting hand on Cedric's shoulder. "Cedric, your health matters. You've come so far. Don't let the pressure undo all the progress you've made." Despite Riley's concerns, Cedric plunged deeper into the intricacies of the legal battle. The courtroom became a stage where he showcased not only his legal prowess, but also his newfound dedication to his work and his desire for redemption. As the trial unfolded, the courtroom buzzed with tension. Cedric, clad in a sharp suit, faced off against the opposing counsel with a calm demeanour that betrayed none of the internal struggles he grappled with. The air was thick with the weight of the arguments presented, each side vying for a favourable verdict. One evening, after a particularly challenging day in court, Cedric returned home, weariness etched across his face. Riley and Julie awaited him in the living room, their worry evident in their expressions. Riley, breaking the silence, asked, "How did it go today, Cedric?" Cedric sighed, sinking into the couch.
"It's tough, Riley. The opposing counsel is relentless and the judge seems swayed. I need a breakthrough."
Julie, sensing her son's distress, spoke with a gentle reassurance. "Cedric, remember you've prepared thoroughly. Trust in your abilities and don't let the pressure consume you. We believe in you." Encouraged by their words, Cedric returned to the courtroom with a renewed determination. The trial, a battlefield of legal arguments and strategic maneuvers, continued to unfold. Each day brought new challenges, unexpected twists, and the relentless pursuit of justice. One evening, as the trial approached its climax, Cedric found himself deep in conversation with his opposing counsel. The two lawyers, once adversaries in the courtroom, engaged in a dialogue that transcended legal jargon. The shared goal of seeking a fair resolution for both parties emerged, leading to the possibility of a settlement. Cedric, sensing an opportunity for a mutually beneficial outcome, negotiated with a finesse that showcased not only his legal prowess but also a newfound commitment to resolution over confrontation. The courtroom, once a battleground, transformed into a space where dialogue and compromise took precedence. The news of a potential settlement reached Riley and Julie, who greeted Cedric with hopeful smiles as he returned home. The apartments, a witness to the ebbs and flows of Cedric's legal journey, now resonated with a sense of anticipation. Days turned into nights as the final stages of the trial approached. Cedric, though physically and emotionally drained, pressed forward with unwavering resolve. His dedication to the case began to reflect not only in the courtroom, but also in the way he balanced his professional commitments with his responsibilities at home. One evening as the trial concluded, Cedric returned home with a mix of exhaustion and accomplishment. Riley and Julie waited anxiously, welcomed him with open arms. "Cedric, how did it go?" Riley asked, concern about etching her features. Cedric, though visibly fatigued, managed a smile.
"We settled, Riley. It's not the victory I initially envisioned, but it's a fair resolution for both parties. The company can move forward and the livelihoods are secure."
Relief washed over Riley and Julie as they realised the magnitude of Cedric's achievement. The living room, once a space of shared concerns, had transformed into a haven where triumphs were celebrated and burdens were collectively lifted. In the aftermath of the trial, Cedric's focus shifted to the challenges within his law firm. The company faced financial setbacks and the pressure to secure new clients became paramount. Cedric, however, approached these challenges with a resilience that mirrored his personal growth. One day, as he navigated the intricacies of client meetings and negotiations, Cedric found himself facing a dilemma that tested not only his legal skills but also his ethical compass. A potential client with a dubious background sought representation, dangling a lucrative contract that could alleviate the firm's financial woes. Cedric, torn between financial necessity and moral principles, sought guidance from his family. In the living room, a space that had become a sanctuary for shared discussions, he expressed his concern.
"I'm at a crossroads, Riley. Mum, the firm needs clients, but this one comes with a questionable reputation. I don't want to compromise our values, but I also can't ignore the financial strain we're under."
Riley, understanding the complexity of the situation, replied, "Cedric, we've come this far by staying true to our principles. Compromising now might bring short-term gains, but jeopardize the long-term integrity of the firm." Julie added, "Cedric, your decisions reflect not only on the firm, but also on the person you've become. Trust your instincts. Remember that success achieved through compromise is fleeting." Buoyed by their advice, Cedric made the difficult decision to decline the dubious client, prioritizing the firm's integrity over short-term financial gain. The living room witness to the moral quandaries faced by Cedric now echoed with a sense of pride and conviction. As Cedric navigated the challenges within the firm, his commitment to family remained unwavering. Despite the demands of his professional life, he continued to prioritize moments with Riley and Julie. One evening, as they gathered for an intimate dinner, Riley looked at Cedric with admiration. "You've faced challenges, Cedric, but you've stayed true to yourself. I'm proud of the man you've become." Cedric, humbled by Riley's words, replied, "I couldn't have done it without both of you. Your support has been my anchor through the storm." The Grayson family, once fractured by neglect, had evolved into a unit that faced trials, both personal and professional, with collective strength. The living room, once witness to discord, now resonated with shared laughter, mutual understanding, and the enduring bond of a family that had weathered the storms of change. The days in the Grayson apartment unfolded in a delicate dance of shared responsibilities and newfound connection. Cedric, having experienced a transformation in his approach to life, was determined to ensure that the love and care he received were reciprocated, especially to the woman who stood by him through thick and thin, Riley. One evening, as the city lights painted the horizon, Cedric returned home with a smile that mirrored the contentment within. Riley, immersed in the gentle care of Cedric's mother, looked up as he entered.
"Hey,"
Cedric greeted, his eyes reflecting a mixture of gratitude and affection. Riley turned toward him, offering a warm smile. "Hey, yourself. How was your day?" Cedric took a moment to appreciate the domestic tranquility surrounding them.
"It was challenging, but knowing I have both of you to come home to makes it all worthwhile."
Riley nodded, her attention returning to the task at hand. Julie needed some extra attention today. She wasn't feeling her best, but I'm here for her. Cedric's heart swelled with appreciation for Riley's dedication, but a realization struck him. While Riley tirelessly cared for both him and his mother, he couldn't shake the feeling that she might be neglecting herself in the process. Later that evening, after ensuring his mother was comfortable, Cedric approached Riley with a tender smile.
"Riley, would you mind taking a break? There's something I'd like to do for you."
Riley, still engrossed in her caregiving duties, looked up with a hint of surprise. "A break? Cedric, there's so much to do!" Cedric gently cupped her face in his hands.
"I know. And you've been working incredibly hard. I want to treat you better, Riley. It's about time we started taking care of you, too. Please get ready. We're going out."
A mix of emotions played across Riley's face. Surprise, gratitude, and a hint of reluctance. "Cedric, I appreciate the gesture, but I have so much to take care of here. Julie..." Cedric interrupted with a determined expression.
"Riley, your well-being matters to me. Tonight is just the beginning. Trust me, your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. Let me take care of you for a change."
Gratefulness welled up in Riley's eyes. "Okay, Cedric, if you insist." As Riley retreated to get ready, Julie, who had been silently observing the exchange, couldn't hide the joy in her eyes. It had been a while since she had seen her son and daughter-in-law spending quality time together, and the prospect filled her heart with warmth. In the small apartment bathroom, Riley stared at herself in the mirror. Her reflection revealed the wariness that came with the responsibilities she shouldered. However, a spark of anticipation ignited in her eyes as she thought about the evening ahead. When Riley emerged from the bedroom, Cedric was taken aback. She wore a beautiful little black dress, a touch of elegance that he hadn't witnessed in years. A tear welled up in Riley's eye as she saw the genuine surprise in Cedric's expression.
"You look stunning,"
Cedric breathed, his eyes filled with admiration. Riley blushed, feeling a surge of emotions. "Thank you, Cedric. It's been a while since we've done something like this." They stepped out into the city's evening, the cool breeze carrying a promise of a rejuvenating night. Cedric took Riley to their favourite restaurant, a place that held memories of their early days together. The ambiance was familiar, yet the atmosphere was charged with a sense of renewal. As they sat at their reserved table, Riley couldn't help but smile at Cedric's effort. "This is so thoughtful, Cedric. I never expected..." Cedric interrupted with a warm smile.
"Expect more, Riley. This is just the beginning. I want to make sure you feel appreciated every day."
Throughout the evening, Cedric engaged Riley in conversations that went beyond the routines of daily life. They reminisced about the moments that brought them together, shared dreams that had faded into the background, and rekindled a sense of partnership that transcended their roles. The restaurant that Cedric chose for their evening held an air of timeless elegance. As they entered, the soft murmur of conversations and the gentle clinking of cutlery created a symphony of understated sophistication. The dimly lit space exuded a warm and intimate ambiance, with strategically placed candles casting a soft, flickering glow on each table. Tables adorned with crisp white tablecloths and polished silverware awaited guests, creating an atmosphere that invited relaxation and indulgence. The walls were adorned with tasteful artwork, and a subtle scent of freshly prepared cuisine wafted through the air. The maître d', a seasoned professional in a tailored suit, greeted them with a warm smile and led them to their reserved table. The flickering candles on the table added a touch of romance to the setting, their gentle illumination contributing to the overall intimate vibe. Cedric had taken care to choose a secluded corner, away from the hustle and bustle of the main dining area. This ensured that Riley and he could enjoy a private and quiet dinner, fostering an environment conducive to heartfelt conversations and rekindling connections. The soft strains of a piano played in the background, creating an elegant backdrop to their evening. The menu, an assortment of carefully curated dishes, offered a culinary journey that mirrored the richness of their shared history. From appetizers that teased the palate to entrees that promised a symphony of flavors, every detail was considered to make the dining experience memorable. As the evening unfolded, Cedric and Riley engaged in conversations that went beyond their daily routines. The candlelight not only illuminated their surroundings, but also created a metaphorical glow, symbolizing the warmth of their rekindled connection. Cedric's attention to detail, from the choice of restaurant to the carefully crafted dinner, communicated a desire to cherish and appreciate Riley in a way that had been absent for far too long. The candlelit dinner became more than just a meal. It became a canvas for the restoration of their relationship. With each shared bite and with every clink of their glasses, they rediscovered the joy of companionship. Riley, in her little black dress, felt a renewed sense of connection, and Cedric, witnessing her radiance, couldn't help but feel a profound sense of gratitude for the woman he had underestimated for too long. The restaurant, with its impeccable service and carefully curated ambiance, became a backdrop to their unfolding story. It echoed with shared laughter, whispered confessions, and the unspoken promise of a future filled with renewed commitment and love. In the soft glow of candlelight, amidst the aromatic swells of delectable dishes, Cedric and Riley found themselves immersed in a moment that transcended the ordinary, a moment that marked the beginning of a journey towards rediscovering and cherishing the depth of their relationship. After dinner, they returned to the apartment, the night glowing with the warmth of a rekindled connection. Cedric led Riley to the living room, where he had prepared a small corner with cushions and blankets.
"I thought we could stargaze,"
Cedric suggested, his eyes reflecting a sincerity Riley hadn't seen in years. They lay side by side, staring up at the night sky through the window. The city lights twinkled in the distance, mirroring the newfound sparkle in their relationship. "Cedric, you've changed," Riley whispered, her eyes filled with both gratitude and vulnerability. Cedric turned to her, his gaze locking with hers.
"I had to, Riley. I want to be the husband you deserve and the partner you need. I'm committed to making things right."
Tears welled up in Riley's eyes as she felt the weight of Cedric's words. "I love you, Cedric. I love this man you've become." The night continued with shared laughter, whispered confessions, and a rekindled flame that promised a brighter future. As they embraced the simplicity of the moments, Cedric and Riley felt a renewed sense of hope and commitment to each other. In the dimly lit living room, the Grayson apartment resonated with the echoes of redemption, love, and the power of transformation. The journey of Cedric, Riley, and Julie continued, guided by the shared understanding that no matter the challenges, they would face them together, a family strengthened by love and a commitment to cherishing each precious moment. The Grayson apartment buzzed with newfound energy, a tangible sense of joy that had settled into the once muted corners. Cedric, having embraced a commitment to change and redemption, found himself savouring the moments he spent with Riley and his mother, Julie. Days turned into a cascade of shared laughter, shared dreams, and shared love, creating an atmosphere of warmth that echoed through the apartment. However, one evening the usual tranquility was disrupted. Cedric, typically the harbinger of cheer, walked into the apartment with a heavy heart. His usual vibrant demeanour was replaced by an air of solemnity that raised immediate concerns from Riley and Julie. "Cedric, what's wrong?" Riley asked, her voice filled with genuine worry. Julie, sensing her son's distress, added, "You've been acting strange since you came in. Is everything okay?" Cedric, his gaze fixed on the floor, remained silent. The weight of something unspoken seemed to hang in the air. Riley and Julie exchanged worried glances, their concern escalating with each passing moment. After persistent inquiry, Cedric finally broke his silence. With a solemn expression, he handed them a sealed envelope. Riley and Julie exchanged puzzled glances before cautiously opening the letter. As they unfolded the contents, their eyes widened in surprise and disbelief. Inside the envelope were 3 flight tickets to Hawaii. "Hawaii?" Riley exclaimed, her voice a mixture of shock and delight. Julie, equally stunned, looked at Cedric for an explanation. Cedric, unable to contain a mischievous smile, revealed, "Surprise! We're going to Hawaii! I thought we could use a break. Some quality time away from the usual routine." Riley and Julie were taken aback by the unexpected turn of events. Cedric, usually immersed in the demands of his work, had orchestrated a plan to take them on a month-long trip to Hawaii. "You're serious?" Riley asked, her eyes reflecting a mix of disbelief and joy. Cedric nodded, his smile widening. "Absolutely serious. I wanted to do something special for both of you. It's high time we take a break and enjoy some time together." The apartment, which had witnessed countless moments of hardships, now echoed with the excited chatter of trip planning. Riley and Julie, initially startled by the surprise, found themselves embracing the idea of Hawaiian adventure. Over the next few days, the apartment transformed into a hub of excitement. Riley and Julie, bubbling with anticipation, enthusiastically packed their bags for the upcoming trip. It marked the first time they were venturing beyond the familiar confines of their daily lives, and the prospect of exploring Hawaii filled them with exhilaration. Cedric, relishing the joy he had brought to their lives, found himself immersed in the preparations. His usual stoic demeanour had given way to a lighter, more carefree version of himself. Finally the day arrived. The Grayson family, armed with suitcases and a palpable sense of excitement, made their way to the airport. The journey to Hawaii became more than just a physical expedition. It symbolized a departure from the shadows of the past and a step towards a future filled with shared adventures. As the plane took off, carrying them towards the azure skies of Hawaii, Riley couldn't contain her enthusiasm. "I can't believe we're actually doing this. Thank you, Cedric." Cedric, gazing out of the airplane window, replied, "You both deserve this. It's time for us to create new memories together." The flight, punctuated by shared laughter and animated conversations, seemed to pass in the blink of an eye. As they landed in Hawaii, the warmth of the tropical air greeted them, marking the beginning of a month-long exploration. Their Hawaiian adventure unfolded with lazy days of sun-kissed beaches, exploration of lush landscapes, and indulgent evenings filled with local cuisine. Cedric, usually tethered to the demands of his professional life, found himself relishing the simple joys of spending time with Riley and Julie. The Graysons' family trip to Hawaii unfolded like a vibrant story, with each day etched with hues of exploration and shared joy. The tropical air welcomed them as they landed, a gentle embrace that signaled the beginning of a month-long adventure. Their days were filled with the golden glow of sun-kissed beaches, the vibrant tapestry of local markets, and the lush green landscapes that seemed to stretch endlessly. Cedric, once shackled by the demands of his work, discovered a newfound sense of freedom in the simple pleasures of spending time with Riley and Julie. On their first day, they strolled along the powdery beaches, the cerulean waves caressing the shore. The trio, their footsteps leaving imprints in the soft sand, found solace in the rhythmic melody of the ocean. Riley, her face adorned with a radiant smile, revelled in the feeling of warm sand beneath her feet. Julie, having spent most of her days confined to the apartment, soaked in the healing energy of the sun and the sea. The local markets became a treasure trove of exotic fruits, vibrant flowers, and handcrafted souvenirs. Cedric, eager to make this trip memorable, encouraged Riley and Julie to explore the unique offerings of each stall. Laughter echoed through the air as they sampled tropical fruits, the flavors a delightful symphony on their taste buds. As they ventured into the heart of the island, dense forests and cascading waterfalls greeted them. The lush landscapes provided a stark contrast to their urban surroundings, offering a serene backdrop for shared moments of awe and wonder. In the evenings, they dined on the verandas of quaint Hawaiian restaurants, the aroma of local cuisine tantalizing their senses. The flavors of fresh seafood, tropical fruits, and traditional dishes became a celebration of culinary delights. Cedric, usually preoccupied with the fast-paced rhythm of his life, found joy in savoring each bite, each moment of shared happiness around the table. One day they embarked on a boat tour, exploring the crystalline waters that surrounded the island. The vibrant marine life beneath the surface seemed to dance in harmony, a breathtaking display of nature's beauty. Riley, her eyes reflecting the hues of the ocean, marveled at the underwater wonders as the sun dipped below the horizon. They found themselves on a secluded beach, the sky painted in hues of pink and gold. Cedric, his heart brimming with gratitude, spoke to Riley and Julie.
I wanted this trip to be a way for us to reconnect and create lasting memories. I know I haven't always been the best at balancing work and family, but I'm committed to changing that.
Riley, her hand intertwined with Cedric's, nodded with a sincere smile. This means a lot to us, Cedric. It's not just about the trip, it's about the effort you're putting into our relationship. The month in Hawaii became a transformative chapter for the Grayson family. Amidst the swaying palm trees and the rhythmic waves of the Pacific, they discovered a newfound sense of unity and shared purpose. On their last day, they gathered on the beach, the waves gently lapping at the shore. The sun, a golden orb sinking into the ocean, painted the sky in a breathtaking display of colours. They shared stories, laughter, and quiet moments of reflection. As they boarded the plane back home, the memories of Hawaii served as a gentle reminder of the resilience of love and the enduring strength found within the bonds of family. The journey, far from being just a vacation, had become a testament to the power of change, redemption, and the profound impact of shared experiences on the fabric of their relationships. The Grayson apartment upon their return felt different. The walls echoed with shared stories of Hawaiian adventures, laughter, and a renewed sense of connection. Cedric, having pranked them with a letter that held the key to newfound joy, realized that the surprises he had in store were not just for the trip, but for the ongoing journey of rebuilding and cherishing the relationships that mattered the most. As they settled back into their daily lives, the memories of their adventures served as a reminder that amidst the chaos of life there was always room for joy, growth, and the shared pursuit of happiness within the embrace of a family bound by love. Riley's sudden bouts of nausea and vomiting raised both concern and hope within the family. Cedric, gripped by fear at the sight of her discomfort, rushed her to the hospital, anxiety etched on his face. As they sat in the waiting room, uncertainty hanging in the air, Julie wore a knowing smile. Her intuition whispered a secret that would soon unfold. The doctor, after a thorough examination, confirmed what Julie had sensed, that Riley was pregnant. The revelation ignited a wave of joy that washed over Cedric and Riley. Their fears transformed into elation, and the Grayson family found themselves on the brink of a new chapter. "Cedric, we're going to be parents!" Riley exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with a mix of surprise and happiness. Cedric, initially paralysed by fear, felt a surge of emotions. The prospect of becoming a father, once daunting, now held the promise of love and growth. He twirled Riley in a spontaneous dance, their laughter filling the hospital room. The news was shared with Julie, who couldn't contain her excitement. She kissed Riley on the forehead and expressed her joy at the impending arrival of the new family member. The apartment, once a witness to struggles, echoed with the sounds of celebration. Months passed, marked by Cedric's unwavering care for Riley. He attended every doctor appointment, decorated the nursery with meticulous attention, and ensured Riley's every craving was met. The transformation within Cedric from a work-driven man to an attentive and caring husband was profound. The day arrived, and the day that would shape the Grayson family's destiny. Cedric stood by Riley's side, his hand tightly clasping hers, as they welcomed their baby girl into the world. The cries of their newborn filled the delivery room, echoing the heartbeat of a new life. As Cedric cradled their daughter in his arms, a surge of emotions overwhelmed him. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for the gift of fatherhood and a renewed appreciation for the importance of family. The apartment, once a battleground for strained relationships, now resonated with the coos and cries of a newborn. The naming ceremony became a celebration of love and unity. They chose a name that reflected not just the essence of the child, but also the newfound harmony within their family. Grace. Little Grace became the embodiment of hope, a symbol of the redemption that had unfolded within the Grayson family. Cedric, once consumed by the demands of his career, now finds fulfillment in the laughter and innocence of his daughter. His priorities shifted, and he learnt the delicate balance of being a devoted father and a supportive husband. The apartment, adorned with baby toys and the melody of lullabies, transformed into a haven of warmth and joy. Julie, witnessing the transformation in her son, felt a sense of contentment. The wounds of the past had healed, replaced by the shared joys of family life. The Grayson family, now complete with the addition of little Grace, embodied the resilience of love and the beauty of second chances. As the sun set on their days of struggle, a new dawn emerged, a dawn filled with the promise of laughter, shared dreams, and the enduring strength found within the bonds of family. Cedric, once a man driven by ambition, now discovers the true meaning of success in the embrace of his loving wife and daughter. The Grayson family, forged through trials and redemption, embarked on a journey of love, growth, and the timeless magic of familial bonds.